260 million people have been killed by their own governments, and that those in political power are one of the deadliest forces on Earth.
I didn't like how he said that. He says Chad believes that 262 million people. Well, what's the truth? Is it Chad's belief? What's the truth, right? They could have said Chad knows that, but they said Chad believes. Well, is it true or not? Anyway. That's a University of Hawaii statistic. That's what that is, that Alex Jones referenced. This guy watches Alex Jones, that's what I think, or listens to him.
Do y'all know what the #1 cause of death is in the last 100 years?
Cancer.
Nope. The big.
And this is the coolest part. I think this is so cool. Here he is. I didn't know there was families that sit around and the dad, he's about to explain to them a democide.
Of humans for the last 100 years. Thing called democide or genocide, very similar things.
What is democide?
Hitler was against the Jews, and so he killed them because he hated them. Remember, we went through the Holocaust Museum? Mm-hmm. Well, democide is very similar, except that's where the government is killing its own people. What if it was a situation like Hitler? You know, Hitler, the Jewish... Isn't it amazing that that many people died? Hitler, why do you think that is? Why didn't they just leave?
So they're able to find statistics about the Holocaust, notice, and the Jews, but what about the other 260 million?
Possibly. Probably because they just never thought it could happen to them.
I think the reason that the government would attack us is for control and power over us. I think my dad would struggle so hard to help us and he wouldn't let us die.
And she says, I think the reason the government would attack us. It's so cool.
Struggle so hard to... I think the reason that the government would attack us is for control and power over us. I think my dad would struggle so hard to help us and he wouldn't let us die.
And today we're going to actually fillet a fish.
Chad fears resistance to a government lockdown will be met with forced famine policies like Stalin instituted in Ukraine, where millions of peasants were starved to death.
So anyway, I don't know if you guys saw this. I just thought I would show you. I'll put a link to it so you can watch it.
Because, like, we have an underground bunker and we can go under there and save ourselves, and we'll have food if it lasts a couple days.
Peace, allowing construction to continue.
Yeah, and I think at this point she's like, if there's a democide thing...
If a democide or any of that happens,
yeah,
we are going to be ready for it because, like, we have an underground bunker and we can go under there and save ourselves, and we'll have food if it lasts a couple days, and we'll be ready.
She's like, if a democide or anything happens...
If any of that happens...
And so far, the house's foundation has stayed in one piece, allowing construction to continue.
If a democide or any of that happens, we are going to be ready for it because, like, we have an underground bunker and we can go under there and save ourselves, and we'll have food if it lasts a couple days, and we'll be ready.
It's pretty funny, pretty awesome.
We okay there, Lionel?
As the bunker is lowered,
All right.
Chad and the workers are building a...
Yeah, I believe that family was Arizona. Since then, the entire border has collapsed, or they imploded the border, or there's been a border stand down. However you want to put it. So maybe it's a good thing they did that. And I was just reading the comments, and one lady says, "Hey, stupid. When do you do something like that? You don't announce. When you do something like that, you don't announce it, because it's so, you know, it sort of crossed my mind. It's not really much. It's a secret. They make a secret bunker, but yet they advertise it." And I simply commented that if no one showed their bunkers, then there wouldn't be a cool show that puts prepping in the mainstream dialogue. So I'm glad that they are showing us. Besides, how do you know that these people don't have several bunkers? Okay? These people are obviously rich or something. A lot of them. Some of them might have 5 or, 4 or 5 different bug out locations. But anyway, before you go, that's just a lesson. Before you go around saying, calling things stupid, guys, you gotta, you can, basically, I want to say with the Socratic method, you can think it through. But anyway, that's sort of confusing. So, latest news is the 5th Ebola patient has been flown in. He is the NBC cameraman that contracted the disease.